1 2 1 2. A Tuesday night in early May at the neutral venue of George Andrews Reserve is the setting for a sixth round cup tie between two sides looking to keep their respective cup runs alive tonight in the Dandenong Ranges. Green Gully, a team that has really hit its stride in recent times, undefeated in its last 7 fixtures in all competitions. They're the designated away team tonight as they tussle with an opponent that sit 29 places below them in the Victorian football pyramid in Doveton. The Doves, who sit in 8th position in NPL 3, haven't yet been able to recapture their form under Tony Saunders that saw them sitting equal top of NPL 3 table when the season was cancelled last year. But they've made it to the 6th round of the Cup for the first time and come into tonight's clash with the Gully off the back of their best win of the season to date, a 4-1 victory over North Sunshine on Saturday afternoon. Round 6 of the Australian Cup live on NPL.tv and the Football Victoria Facebook page for the first time this season as well. Doveton versus Green Gully. My name is Brent Sternberg. Thanks for joining me on this chilly evening here at George Andrews Reserve in Dandenong. Just about ready for kick-off. Green Gully will get us underway at George Andrews Reserve tonight in their white away kit with the green socks. It'll be Doveton from NPL 3 in the green and black with the white shorts. The Gully to kick off, going from left to right in the opening half, looking to win through to the 7th round of the Cup for the first time in 5 years. And Doveton, who have made it to round 6 for the first time. And so kick off at George Andrews Reserve. We'll get to the starting 11 for Doveton. Number 1 in goal, the goalkeeper Kobe Jones. Number 2, Brendan Almazovsky. Number 3, Matthew Michael Jaimati. Number 4, Frank Vissers. Number 5, Dow Akol. Number 7, Adam Hester. Number 8, Damien Miskelin. Number 9, the captain, Josh Frame. Number 10, Reno Mariki. And number 17, Liam McCormick. And 18, the top goal scorer currently in the NPL 3, Samuel Catherine. So one change from the Doves side that beat North Sunshine 4-1 on Saturday. Going out, Sam Maggs, and coming in, Reno Mariki. On the bench, reserve goalkeeper Stuart Webster, Samuel Maggs, Sajad Mohammadi, Keegan Myatt and Alexander White. Meanwhile, for Green Gully, undefeated in their last 7 fixtures across all competitions. In goal, number 20, David Thompson. Number 2, Mitch Graham. Number 3, Jordan Lampard. Number 4, K.O.D. Godoy. Number 8, Nick Georgopoulos. Number 11, Mamadi Kamara, coming off a hat-trick scored in their victory over Fitzroy City in the 5th round of the Cup. Number 12, Yared Abatu. Number 14, the captain for tonight, Matthew Fletcher. Number 16, Josh Hope. Number 17, Ethan Brooks. And number 23, James Doyle. On the bench for tonight for the Gully, the goalkeeper Liam Driscoll, who has started every game in the league this year, but has left the duties for David Thompson, who has the ball in hand here as they have a goal kick at the Gully. Joining him on the bench, Luke Adams, Gianluca Iannucci, Luke Jego, Niall Bernarda, who returns, of course, to the ground tonight that he made his name wearing the red and black for the Dandenong Thunder. And also on the bench, club captain Jeremy Walker. So 5 changes for the Green Gully team that defeated Fitzroy City in the previous round. They're going out Luke Adams, Matthew Crooks, Alex Salmon, Niall Bernarda and Jeremy Walker, and coming in Mitch Graham, Jordan Lampard, K.O.D. Godoy, Yared Abatu and Josh Hope. Nice ball played forward here and an early chance for Fletcher with Jones off his line, and that's great goalkeeping by the youngster Kobe Jones, who has been in pretty good form for the Doves in the NPL 3. Started all 8 league games, a couple of clean sheets as well. And of course will play a very important role for Doveton tonight if they are to come up with a cup upset here tonight at George Andrews. Of course, we are playing at a neutral venue tonight. Doveton, the home team, designated home team, but Waratah Reserve not fit to be hosting night games with the lighting situation, and so we find ourselves on the other side of the city at George Andrews Reserve, and that was a loose touch by Mitch Graham. Doveton to take over with a throw-in. Half-hearted shot there for a handball on James Doyle, waved away by the referee. Abatu creeping forward for the Gully. Closed down by Mariki and Liam McCormick. Vessers. Long ball down the line, headed away by Mitch Graham. Tidied up by the Doves, and through the middle of they come. Catherine, looking to catch the Scotsman David Thompson off his line. A cheeky little early attempt, but a nice warning shot. Just to tell the Scotsman, you stay right there. I suppose we'll put that down, Statsman, as the first shot of the night. I mentioned Green Gully playing Doveton, who are 29 positions below Gully in the Victorian Football Division system. As there's a poor giveaway there by Matthew Fletcher, who just wanted Ethan Brooks to come at him. Doveton are in 8th position in the NPL 3, 2 wins, 4 draws and a couple of losses. Green Gully 5th in the top division, 7 wins, 1 draw and 4 losses. As Vessa's ball forward is dealt with by Doyle. Doveton so far with wins over Strathmore, a 3-0 victory in round 4, and then 5-2 winners over Whitehorse United in round 5. A game that was level 1-1 at the half, and then they jumped out of the blocks in the second, 45 Doveton, and scored 4 second half goals. Fletcher looking out wide. Georgopoulos. Backwards he comes to the former Melbourne Victory man Hope, and now the former Adelaide United man Yared Abatu. Kamara and Georgopoulos. Georgopoulos not able to thread that one through. Disappointingly given straight back by the Doves, and now Abatu. Georgopoulos combining with Yared Abatu. The referee just holding up Yared Abatu, who then eventually got the shot away, but high over the bar. Good defending there from the referee. He'll be disappointed with that Yared Abatu. He looked like he was about to pull the early shot and just had to take another touch and round the referee. And so a goal kick for Kobe Jones. Waiting for it. Another ball. That'd be helpful. That was Stephen Downs, Gully manager, playing role of the ball boy there. The Green Gully wins over Nunawading City. A 6-0 win in round 4. A couple of weeks ago, a 3-0 victory away over Fitzroy City. Header forward there by Brooks, away by Dower Cole. Straight back to Ethan Brooks, wide right for the Gully. Oh, he's broken the ankles there of the Doveton player, and a nice ball to the back post where Kamara, as he put the header over the bar, the last touch off the defender, says the referee. And so the first corner kick of the night will fall the way of the Gully. That was Matthew Michael Joe Marty, who just had a bit of a moment there as Ethan Brooks mesmerised him. Ethan Brooks' first season here at the Gully, joined from Quilap, Croatia in the NPLW. Celebrated a birthday last week. The now 22-year-old Ethan Brooks, one of the scorers in that 6-0 victory over Nunawading City in round 4. Here comes a right foot in swinger, Nick Georgopoulos. In fact, no, he's gone short to Abatu. It's actually gone right by the midfielder. And the first set piece of the night for the Gully is a disappointing one. Georgopoulos. Abatu and back to Mitch Graham, who starts for the first time this season. Hasn't started in the league this year, Mitch Graham. Seen some minutes in the Cup. Gets his first start tonight. Ball played forward here. Hester, it's a good challenge. James Doyle, one of the real promising young centre-halves in the NPL top division with the Eastern Lions last year, but come across to join Green Gully this season. Another one that's fallen out of favour a little bit in recent weeks, but starts tonight alongside the Brazilian-born Australian Rd6 Gully. Oh, and another poor giveaway deep in their own defending half of the ground, and they've given away a cheap foul here, the Gully. And an opportunity for Doveton to either, well, it's in an interesting area, whip a ball into the box or potentially have a direct crack. And you get the feeling that these are the opportunities that they're going to really have to take with both hands, Doveton, tonight. Liam McCormick and Reno Mariki, standing over it. Looks like McCormick's going to leave it for his mate, who goes directly looking for that far post. Can't keep it down. Reno Mariki, who has scored in the league this season, 1 goal in 7 appearances. Just been a little bit sloppy early on here, Green Gully, in the opening 10 minutes or so, giving away some cheap possession. Fletcher, Lampard looking for the long ball. Jamadi will have that one covered, and they can pick it up in midfield here, the Doves. Catherine trying to bring it down and combine. Hester, now a long ball forward. Not the best first touch there by Mariki. David Thompson looking smashing in the bright orange tonight. Scotsman, born in Stirling. Oh, there we go, just an awkward pass again from Georgopoulos back to Graham. And another turnover, and Yared Abatu just blasts that one forward. Vissers, Brooks's header might be tidied up again here by Frank Vissers, who's actually happy to just watch that one go out for a throw-in. Frank Vissers, who has started every match and indeed played every minute in the league this season. Frame whips one forward. That's a fantastic ball. Lampard and Hester. Brilliant by Jordan Lampard. It was a one-on-one battle that soon become a battle that had been won by the left fullback with the great skill. Another one who's played plenty of football this season for the Gully, as Rd6 Gully's long diagonal ball almost landed in our lap up here on the balcony. The Doveton in the league, who have won just one of their previous 5 games, but as mentioned, that win did come on Saturday afternoon over the North Sunshine Eagles. And the Gully, who are not only undefeated in their last 7 games across all competitions, but they're coming off back-to-back 4-0 victories over Heidelberg United at home on match day 11 and the Eastern Lions on the weekend. Kamara can chase this one down, gets there ahead of Elmazovsky. Kamara looking to track him board. He had Lampard on his outside shoulder. Georgopoulos' first time ball has been turned over. McCormick. Oh, and the touch there from the number 7, Adam Hester. Just got away from him. And the Gully, who started the season in hot and cold form. They really struggled for a few weeks there to find the back of the net. And the fact that their big striker, Alex Salmon, who is not in the squad tonight, he was absent around the same time, and no coincidence that he's returned and they've found the back of the net a much easier proposition. They've been very sturdy defensively as well in the league of the Gully, conceding just a total of 12 goals, which is the second fewest. Can Catherine chase that one down? He can. And the best that he could do was play it out for a throw-in. And the Doves will press. Sprightly start for the boys from Waratah Reserve. As Mitch Graham's throw goes long down the line, Jamadi wins the header. Up goes Hope, and then helped on by Fletcher. Miskillen can't link up with Hester, and Yared Abatu's back on the ball in midfield for the Gully. Wore a bit of contact from Miskillen, and kudos to him for not going to ground. Graham, that's a nicer pass to pick out Brooks. Good tenacity in midfield, though, there by McCormick, Catherine and Mariki. Georgopoulos working hard. Oh, and down goes Mitch Graham off the ball. Referee has paid that as a foul as Mitch Graham is helped to his feet by James Doyle. Mitch Graham from Bendigo originally, former Melbourne City youth player, of course. And they've swung the changes, Green Gully, from the side that beat Eastern Lions 4-0 on the weekend. If you're wondering about the number in terms of total changes, I can tell you it's 8. But going out, Liam Driscoll, Luke Adams, Matty Crooks, Gianluca Iannici, Alex Salmon, Luke Jego, Noel Bernarda and Jeremy Walker. Coming in, David Thompson, Mitch Graham, K.O.D. Godoy, Nick Georgopoulos, Yared Abatu, Matty Fletcher, Josh Hope and Ethan Brooks. So with so many changes and only having played 3 days ago, you might come to expect a sloppy start. And they haven't been entirely impressive with the ball, it must be said. The Gully through the opening quarter of an hour. Here's Hope with a lovely turn and finding Graham. Without the football, Doveton, it looks like they're lining up in some sort of a 4-4-2 or even a 4-5-1 with captain Josh Frame as the lone striker. Abatu's going to have a go here. And straight at the goalkeeper, but it'll go down as the first shot on target of the night. Comfortable enough for Kobe Jones. Yared Abatu, as we mentioned, the former Adelaide United man, probably looks the most sprightly of the boys in white tonight. And James Doyle with that ball forward there, just copying some, we'll call it advice. Oh, that's not the best back pass from Vissers, but Kobe Jones was alert when he had to be. Just slightly under hit there from Frank Vissers. Disaster averted. Lampard's ball forward for Georgopoulos is played out by Dower Cole. A Cole who is back home in a way, playing at George Andrews Reserve. Former Dandenong Thunder player, was here at George Andrews Reserve last season. Has dropped back to play for Doveton in the NPL 3 this season, with hope for the Gully. Graham, who's very advanced down the pitch. Hope just over the head of Georgopoulos. Not sure that's going to be a great route to goal tonight, looking for Georgopoulos to win contested headers. Frame's done well to keep that one in. Or did he? No, he didn't. And the captain, Josh Frame, who scored a brace on the weekend in the 4-1 victory over North Sunshine. There is some conjecture. I've seen some places have pegged that down as a hat-trick, and other archives that I've seen have actually put down one of the goals as an own goal. Let's say the captain scored a hat-trick, even though I just said a brace. Georgopoulos' cross blocked. Managed to keep it in, Georgopoulos. Elmazovsky happy for now to just play that one out of touch. Abitu back to Doyle. From left to right they go, Green Gully. This is Graham. Brooks has played that one off Jamadi and out for a throw in. In fact, that is judged to have come off Green Gully last, so it is a throw in for Matthew Michael Jamadi, who only saw the starting 11 for the first time on Saturday. Now gets a start here in the Cup. Oh, hunted by Kamara. Lithian Jamadi thought the best option was to play that one out. Graham with the throw in, find Abitu. Just trying to be patient here, Green Gully. No doubt finding it tricky to pick apart the Doves, but going to stick with the game plan and back themselves in that at some point tonight they will pick them apart and find their goal that they're after. As I mentioned earlier, looking to win through Green Gully to the 7th round for the first time since 2017. Of course, quarter-finalists in the Australia Cup in 2016. Defeated the Central Coast Mariners in the round of 32 on their way to the Magic Green Gully Cup run into the quarterfinals. This is playing that one long. It'll be, well, not mopped up by Abitu. He's turned it over. One of only 3 NPL Victoria teams to beat an A-League side are the Gully. Matthew Fletcher's back heel there. He's expecting a run centrally, and there was nobody at all there in white. Oh, and Dower Cole's pass is really stretched. Brendan Mazovsky. Good work there by Kamara. Again, looking for the long ball forward. Forward come the Doves. Wide right they have it. It's Frame. Thought about putting the ball into the area. Now combining with McCormick. Not a bad looking ball forward, but read well there by the Gully. Oh, now it's come back to Frame, who's trying to square it up to Hester. And now hitting it first time is Miskalun, and he's just got under it and put that one out into the creek. Just lacking a little bit of composure there, Damien Miskalun, former Melbourne Victory youth player and formerly the Melbourne Knights and Dandenong City as well. Looks like he's been to the barber as well in recent weeks, Damien Miskalun. I was watching him earlier this season playing with a glorious mullet. Oh, Doyle's ball, I think, looking for Abitu, but straight through to a Cole. Now McCormick. Backwards they come to Miskalun. Green Gully now trying to press. Vissers is going to be hunted by Brooks. Oh, Vissers is playing that one coolly and calmly. Jamadi trying to loft one over into the space where Catherine is lurking. Digadoy's turned it over again. McCormick and Hope. Referee waving that one away. That's come off Mamadi Kamara last and out for a Doveton throw in. These two teams who are playing each other competitively. Just hold that thought as Frame's got it on the edge of the area. Looking to whip one through now. Catherine's in on goal and the ball's just eluded him. And out disappointingly for Doveton for a goal kick. Frame with just an inch too much on that ball. As I was mentioning, these two teams playing each other competitively for the first time in 31 years. They have shared previously 4 seasons together in the top flight of Victorian football in the early 80s, between 1981 and 1983, and then in 1991. Green Gully lead the head-to-head in terms of league fixtures 5-0 with 3 draws. Last match-up between these two competitively, Sunday, August 25, 1991. Match day 25 was a shootout that particular afternoon. Green Gully won 4-2. Here they come now through Jordan Lampard. Fletcher did well to get out of a jam and play in Kamara. Again, Fletcher's forced to retreat. Digadoi, Hope. Aperture slipped into a nice area, combining with Hope, who will look for Graham and Brooks. He's got on the right-hand channel. Graham to Hope. Brooks. Won back expertly by Vissers, who, save for that loose back pass a few moments ago to his goalkeeper, has had a pretty good opening 24 minutes or so. Jamadi with a long ball forward that Samuel Catherine doesn't even bother chasing. He's having a chat with the referee as well. I think he wanted a foul. Samuel Catherine, as mentioned, leading goal scorer in the NPL 3 at the moment. It's a lovely diagonal to find Brooks. Was he checked there, Ethan Brooks? Linesman says no. Well, now Mariki's left that one behind, and Brooks trying to step through. One back there by Reddy Mariki. Vissers, McCormick, a Cole, and now some space down the left-hand flank for Elmazovsky to utilise. Oh, that's a disappointing ball. Was expecting the inside run from Frame, and instead the ball went on the outside and easily mopped up there by the Gully defenders. Green Gully, 9-time Victorian champions, 6-time champions of the Victorian Premier League. And of course we know that the early phases, as that's a disappointing ball from Abatu, goes out of play. These preliminary qualification rounds of the Australia Cup double as the Doherty Cup knockout competition as well here in Victoria, a competition of which Green Gully are 5-time winners. Win here tonight for either of these two teams, and they will be potentially just 90 minutes away from not only a spot in the round of 32 in the Australia Cup, but a spot in the quarterfinals of the Doherty Cup. Just a reminder, there are a few other games that also kicked off at 7:30 this evening. Essendon Royals, who are hosting Avondale. Speaking of champions of the Doherty Cup, reigning champions are the Avengers. Oakley, who are going great guns in the league, are playing Hume City as well. And Heidelberg United are taking on the boys from Ballarat in Ballarat City. So 4 top division teams in action tonight, looking to win through to round 7. Doyle looking for Brooks, but Jamadi telegraphed the pass. Just growing a little bit frustrated, Stephen Downs, and in particular James Doyle as well out there, as Mitch Graham's let that one go. Frame's almost taken the head off the referee there. Miskelin. Elmazovsky, the pass has just taken him backwards a touch. Akol. McCormick and Vissers. Green Gully circling, but they've done well enough here. The Dovies, and a nice outside of the boot pass from McCormick. Couldn't quite link up with Miskelin. Done well, though, to play in his teammate here. Is looking to cut him board. Away by Degui. They're back in possession, Doveton. Joe Marty, who's going to have a great battle with Ethan Brooks down this, right-hand wing for the Gully, left-hand wing for Joe Marty and the Doves. Lampard rising, didn't get much on that, and now it's broken here for Hester. Looking to whip a ball in at the far post. He's got the captain frame, but again, just too much on the pass. And just lacking a little bit of connection in that final third at the moment, the Doveton, but that's all they're lacking. The case could be made that they have been the more ambitious of the two teams through the opening almost half an hour here at George Andrews Reserve. Digadoi, who scored a thumping goal for the Gully in the league a few weeks ago. Former Port Melbourne man, of course, second season at Green Gully. Beautifully brought down there by Georgopoulos, but he has lost out. Frame, McCormick, Hester, and now Frame, who tried to honour the run of Hester. Wins the throw in and will be able to honour the run now with the throw in. Hester, lovely challenge coming from behind by Lampard. Ball forward now for Kamara and a Cole. What a foot race that is. And Dower Cole taking no risks at all and sending that one out of play. Referee just going back and having a chat to one of the Doveton players. Adam Hester, I think that is on the outer side. Georgopoulos, well won there by Kamara, who's going to go for a run into the area. Here's Kamara squaring it, and it took a deflection. It's gone into the side netting and out for a corner kick. Mamadi Kamara, for the first time tonight, really able to use his pace and get into a dangerous area. And they're going to have their second corner kick of the night, the Gully. Their first one, if I can say, was pretty ordinary. They went short and mucked it up. You think this time Nick Georgopoulos will just put this one into the dangerous area. Right-footed in-swing it from the 22-year-old Nick Georgopoulos. Looking for the head of Doyle, who's rising. Just missed it. Digadoi whips one in there. Away. Not all that convincingly, but helped on by Jamadi. Mariki played it down for Hester, who's now trying to link up with McCormick. He goes toe-to-toe with Georgopoulos. He's drawn a foul, surely, Liam McCormick. He has. And we get the Bronx cheers from some of the Doveton travelling support, most of which are wearing the yellow bibs. Orange bibs, I should say. Colourblind referees called a offside here. They don't have great history at this ground in the Australia Cup, Doveton. They've been here once before. Lost 3-1 in the fifth round of the, of course, then FFA Cup in 2014 to the Thunder. Acquitted themselves quite well here, though, through the opening third of this match. Doyle, Fletcher, linking up with Hope, two former A-League boys combining, and Graham smacks that one out of play. Has to go through the fence to retrieve the ball. Because Matthew Fletcher, formerly of the Central Coast Mariners, and Josh Hope, former Melbourne Victory man. great to see Josh Hope out there and enjoying his football again. We know he stepped away from the game a couple of seasons ago now. That's a lovely ball forward by Graham, and Hope has drifted into some space on the right-hand flank. Trying to cut inside Hope. He's gone a long way with the football. Vessa's tracking him the whole way. And that's really well done there by Frank Vessas to just worry Josh Hope out of that particular contest and see the ball out of play. Doveton now back in possession. Joe Marty. And Frank Vessas. Joe Marty making the run. Vessas instead linking up with Samuel Catherine. Back to Dow Cole. Almost run himself into a jam there, Cole, but linking up with McCormick, and now forward goes Elmazovsky. Here's Hester. Can get a ball into the area here, Hester. Graham, chesting that one down awkwardly and out for a corner kick. And again, those balls to the back post. Just worrying Green Gully ever so slightly. And on that particular occasion, worrying Mitch Graham. One of a handful of Green Gully players who have celebrated birthdays recently. Mitch Graham turning 21 a couple of weeks ago now. This will be a right-footed in-swinger for Doveton. And too close to the goalkeeper. David Thompson obligingly accepts. Really should have done better with a set-piece opportunity there, Doveton, and now they might be caught on the break. Georgopoulos and Brooks, and in goes Elmazovsky. Fair challenge, says the referee, and now Georgopoulos has lost out. That's great work by Elmazovsky. Two terrific challenges. They're going to win it back, deep in their own third, although a disappointing header from Brooks. Miskillen, a promising thrust forward for Green Gully. Results in not much. Into the final 10 minutes of the first half here. George Andrews reserve. Australia Cup action. You're watching on NPL.TV and the Football Victoria Facebook page as well. Sixth round action. I think I said fifth a moment ago. Sixth. My mistake. Here's Abatu. And the unmistakable gangly figure of James Doyle. Georgopoulos buzzing around, and there's another ball forward for Green Gully into the final third that is a bit of a mystery. I'm not sure if Nick Georgopoulos was expecting Ethan Brooks to provide a run then. He was caught flat-footed, the West Australian. Talk about unmistakable figures. Ethan Brooks, who has not started in the league, but he's been subbed on 9 times. But has now started in all 3 cup games for the Gully. No, Abatu tripped over his own man. I think the foul has actually gone Josh Hope's way. Dueling with Samuel Catherine. Referee asking this ball to come back, to be taken by James Doyle. In fact, Ko Dikadui right on the halfway line. Abatu just nipping in there for Samuel Catherine. Again, the Gully forced backwards. Oh, Hope wearing some contact there from Miskillen. Here's Mamadi Kamara. He's got Lampard wide left. Oh, now in goes Elmazovsky, and that time it is a foul. And he's the first player into the book, Brendan Elmazovsky. Couple of rash challenges in the last few moments, but doesn't get away with that one. And now there's a little bit of push and shove here. KOD Godoy not real happy with that challenge. And we have a flashpoint as we head towards the final 5 minutes of the opening half. There's a couple of the Green Gully players are just trying to get KOD Godoy out of there, and now the Brazilian's gone into the book. And in the meantime, the Green Gully player is still down on the edge of the area. Hasn't entirely simmered down just yet, this little fracas. The trainer is out to Jordan Lampard, I think it was, the Green Gully player that was fouled by Elmazovsky. One thing that we know for certain is this is now going to add some time on at the end of this first half. And there's some harsh words being dealt out there. Hopefully we're not picking it up in the effects, Mike. Rather colourful language indeed, might I say. Looks like Jordan Lampard is going to be okay. Brisbane Raw used products from Lismore in Queensland originally. Town that's been through a lot this year, of course, with the recent floods in Queensland. Geordie looks like he's going to be okay, just pulling his socks up. Might have got a bit of that horrible magic spray in there, I think. So we're going to have a set piece, and you can see where Yared Abatu is placing the football. It is right on the line of the 18-yard area. In a good position, potentially, for a direct shot here for the Gully. It's Yared Abatu who stands over it. In fact, it's not going to be on the edge of the area. Referee just asking Abatu to bring that one back a couple of yards. All the big boys from the back up for the Gully. Digadoy lurking at the back post. Hope in there as well. A three-man wall for Doveton. Abatu, goes to the near post, but again, straight at the keeper. And Kobe Jones is going to flip this one out. And a chance potentially for Doveton to spring forward, although Mariki's been closed down by two men wearing white shirts. Now Mariki's coughed it up to Brooks, and Josh Hope will now use Ethan Brooks, and backwards they go, the Gully, all the way back to KOD Godoy. So another shot on target there for Green Gully, but neither goalkeeper really been tested in this opening half, which is into the final 5 minutes now. Georgopoulos waiting in some dangerous areas. Fletcher might have a go himself. He did, but he just couldn't quite get the velocity he wanted on that shot. Again, statistically a shot on target, but comfortable save for Colby Jones. Long ball forward looking for Frame. Nodded on cleverly there by Hester. Lampard caught into action and sees it out of play. Joe Marty might be shaping up for a longer Rory Delap type throw in here. In it goes, Jamadi. Doyle won the header. Well, Graham, I should say. Didn't really deal with it. And now Frame, that's an interesting ball that is actually going to favour Jordan Lampard, who will play in Mamadi Kamara. Kamara looking to try and cut in board. He shrugs off Hester. Hope. Now Brooks, wide right. Graham making the run into the area. Brooks drifting towards the area. Now trying to get by Mariki, but tidied up by Vissers. And the captain, Josh Frame's done well to win a throw in there for Doveton. Creeping towards half-time here George Andrews Reserve. Still these two sides locked at 0-0. No real clear-cut opportunities on goal just yet. Oh, now that's an interesting looking chest down from Jai Marty. Looked like it was in the area. Surprisingly, only really half-hearted shouts from the Gully players. Referee not interested at all. Kobe Jones not happy with that kick of his. Oh, that's a wild one from Hester. Brooks on halfway now. Abitu, who's just about been the player of the opening half. Oh, Graham's been pretty good as well, but that's not his best moment. Now, Catherine just got it stuck underneath him, and now he's brought down Josh Hope. And a foul paid by the referee. And now a ball in to the area potentially here. Nick Georgopoulos standing over it. Both managers on the touchline are just a little bit frustrated with the way that this game has been officiated in the last little while. What can Nick Georgopoulos do here? It's just asking whether or not Samuel Catherine should retreat a couple of yards, and the referee says yes. So Georgopoulos sends a flat-looking one into the area. Out of there by Cole. Kamara brought it down. Lovely skill to get away from frame. And gets away from Miskelin too. And on the outside of the boot. Good build-up play there by Kamara. Cole clearance with the header. Lampard. Abitu finds Hope. Now it's Ethan Brooks on the edge of the area. Can he send a ball in? He can. Only as far as Vissers. Out by the Doves. Frame. Threading the eye of the needle there to find Mariki. Now McCormick trying to waltz forward. Solidly met by Graham, who's won another foul for the Gully. Digodoy has found Kamara. I don't know if that's who he was looking for, but here comes Kamara, who can have a go from outside the area, and he's just dragged it wide left. Mamadi Kamara, fresh off a hat-trick in the last round of this competition against Fitzroy City. Just starting to come to the party late in this first half. Young man who joined Green Gully a couple of seasons ago now from Adelaide Olympic and NPL SA. And that'll do it for the first half here at George Andrews Reserve. Bit of a frustrating one for Green Gully. A little bit sloppy in possession at times, but they'll go into the main break locked at 0-0 with the Doves, who were good value in that opening 45. No real clear-cut chances to write home about, but they've just sent a couple of warning shots, have Doveton, to the boys from Green Gully Reserve, with some interesting balls in behind. And at half-time here in this round 6 matchup in the Australia Cup between Doveton and Green Gully, the score at half-time at George Andrews Reserve is Doveton 0, Green Gully 0. Half-time here at George Andrews Reserve. Doveton and Green Gully in the 6th round of the Australia Cup. Brent Sternberg is my name. Thank you for joining me. You're watching on NPL.tv and on the Football Victoria Facebook page as well. Very intriguing contest here that is locked at 0-0. Not a whole lot of clear-cut chances in that first half. 4 shots to 3 in total in favour of Green Gully, but just 1 shot on target for either side. Doveton in the green and black, going from left to right in this second half. Green Gully in the white shirts with the green socks. Doesn't appear to be any changes at the main break, as they've won a foul early on here, the Gully. Just still casting my eye over the Doveton players, to be fair. Georgopoulos goes waltzing forward, linking up with Hope, as those two did a lot in that opening 45, but a disappointing end to a foray forward for Green Gully, and that really was the story of the first half. Didn't really dominate in possession like you might expect, being the team in the, well, not just in the top division of the Victorian football system, but in the top 6. They had plenty of football, plenty of possession, Doveton, and they're going to have an early look here as the captain, Frame, goes down. Josh Frame. They had a couple of set-piece opportunities in the opening 45, the Doves, that didn't really amount to too much at all. And so here is an early opportunity for Doveton to ask the question of the boys from Green Gully Reserve. Rini Mariki stands over it, as does Adam Hester. It's going to be Hester with the direct shot. Oh, and it concerned David Thompson, diving away low to his right and seeing it out for another set piece for Doveton. A corner kick this time. Again to be taken by Adam Hester. Going to be a right-footed in-swinger. Was a real thorn in the side down the right-hand channel in the opening half. Hester's going to put this one in, looking for a Cole. Fisted away there by Thompson. Mariki back to Hester. Closed down by Lampard. In by McCormick, but straight at David Thompson. And now Green Gully will look to hit them on the bounce. And Kamara can't get it away from Liam McCormick. Vessers very far down the field. Oh, nice ball forward by McCormick, but just a little bit too heavy for Sammy Catherine. And again, enterprising start here for the boys from Waratah Reserve. Lampard whisking one forward. Now a Cole's missed it. Wise goalkeeping there by Kobe Jones. McCormick. Ball in behind. Now a chance for Frame, who hits it first time. And he was going to ground as he got the shot away, and as a result couldn't keep it down. And I dare say that is really the best opportunity of the game that falls the way of the Doves inside the opening couple of minutes here in the second half. Just having some issues retrieving the football tonight here. We've had both managers at times doing some extracurricular activities as the ball boy. A great opportunity for Josh Frame in behind. They're on red alert, the Gully. Tigadoy. Fletcher on the back shoulder of a Cole. Just held up by the big centre half. Lampard in. Beyond hope, dealt with by Vissers. And that's come off Tigadoy last. Brendan Elmazowski to bring it back in for Doveton. Green Gully sitting 5th in the top division. Oh, it's a shallow back pass, and Hope rounds the goalkeeper and opens the scoring for the Gully. A horrible back pass from Doveton, and Josh Hope was onto it. And Green Gully, who have really struggled, looking lethargic through the opening 45 minutes, have a gift of an opening goal at George Andrews. Really disappointing from Doveton. Been so tight at the back. The cheapest of giveaways. And Josh Hope, who scored Green Gully's opening goal of the season this year, scores the opening goal tonight. 5 minutes into the second half, Green Gully have the lead. Doveton 0, Green Gully 1. Over to you, Doveton. Don't want to say they have to come out of their shell. They've been out of their shell from the opening minutes, but got to really put the foot down now to try and get a result here. Of course, not just a result. 2 goals now required from the Doves to win this one and head through to the 7th round of the Australia Cup for the first time. But Georgopoulos goes down. Elmazovsky coming forward. He might be tempted into a shot here. Now, did that hit the hand of Lampard in the area? That's the call from the Doveton bench. Referee waves it away. Lampard's long ball forward, just over the head of Vissers. Pretty good first touch there from Fletcher, but Cole's onto it. Now is Hester onside here. The flag stayed down. And again, the pass just a little heavy. Of course, Green Gully looking to win through to the 7th round for the first time since 2017. And from there, they will be just 90 minutes potentially away from the national stages of the Australia Cup again. Hope's just lost out there. Oh, McCormick just loses his footing. Out by Vissers. Nice back heel there from Frame. Looking for the 1-2 with Misculum, but Digadoy's got it covered. That's a cheap turnover there from Gully. And they're looking for KOD Godoy to receive a warning there for kicking the ball over the fence. Got to throw in Elmazovsky here adjacent to the 18-yard area. Digadoy and Frame's done well to turn and get a shot on target there, but again, it's a tame one from Frame and an easy save for David Thompson at his near post. Kamara onto the second ball. Can't get away from Dower Cole. Kamara's missed Hope, and Mariki loses out James Doyle, who's given it straight back to Joe Marty. I wonder if Doveton coach Tony Saunders will be tempted to go to the bench. Got some interesting options on the bench tonight. The Doves, Samuel Magg, Sajjad Mohammadi, Keegan Myatt, Alexander White, who's had seen plenty of playing time in the league this season. It's probably fitting that the man on the score sheet is Josh Hope, who is the intended target of that long ball forward from James Doyle. The Hope was one of the real ever-present players in that first half for the Gully. A lot of their attacking movement seemed to go through the former Melbourne Victory man. And they're readying a change here, the Gully. And Luke Jego is the man who is warming up. It's one back here by Elmazovsky. Goes waltzing into the Doves attacking half. Hester wide right. Digadoy watching him closely. Frame lays it off to Hester. Now can McCormick whip one in? Another shout for a handball, this time off Mitch Graham. And this time still waved away. And now Hope. It's well done there by Liam McCormick, who's put in a good shift so far tonight in the middle of the park. And just straying offside there. The Doveton player. It's actually going to be a double change for the Gully. Coming on, Luke Jigo. And the former Dandenong Thunderman, Nal Bernarda, as well. A homecoming of sorts. Fourth official just comes over to check everything is in order. It looks like Ethan Brooks might be the one making way and exiting via the far touchline. And also coming off will be Nick Georgopoulos. So on comes Luke Jigo, a man who has started all 12 games in the league this season for the Gully. And the Argentine Nal Bernarda, what a player to bring on. In a great position now, the boys from Green Gully Reserve with a 1-0 lead and able to bring on quite a player in Nal Bernarda, who returns to George Andrews Reserve tonight for the first time since crossing from the Thunder to the Gully. Here's Hope. Bernarda making a run into the area. Kamara, just good defending there by a Cole to just see it away and out for a goal kick. And Samuel Maggs is going to come on for Doveton, and he's going to be replacing Adam Hester, who doesn't look too pleased to be coming from the ground. But the first change is made by Tony Saunders, and on comes Sam Maggs, who got his first start of the season on Saturday in the league against North Sunshine. Been playing this season mainly in the under-21s, 4 goals in 4 appearances. Just quickly and around the grounds update, we do have a few other games taking place tonight. Oh, a poor back pass and frame and palmed away by Thompson, and what an opportunity for the Doveton skipper. Oh, golden opportunity, and Tony Saunders cannot believe it. Really poor back pass. Gee, we've seen a few of them tonight. One, of course, which has led to the goal that separates the two teams, and very, very lucky at the back there, the Gully. And the captain, Josh Frame, who has been in great goal-scoring form, could not restore parity here at George Andrews Reserve, and will they live to regret that, the Doves? Almazovsky got to get back here. Hunted by Bernarda. Backwards he goes to Jones. Up goes Hope and wins the header. Slashing at that one, Vissers. Aperture heads that one out of play, so we will go around the grounds. For those that don't want to know the scores, turn off your ears now. Avondale lead the Essendon Royals 2-1 inside the final 10 minutes there. Oakley and Hume City are still locked at 0-0, heading towards the hour mark. KOD Godoy clears that one. So Oakley and Hume locked at 0-0, and Heidelberg United lead Ballarat City 3-0. So it looks like the Burgers are on their way to the 7th round of the Cup. And of course Green Gully leading Doveton here 1-0, but they've sprung into life, Doveton. And here is Frame now wide left on the edge of the area. Just sticking a boot in there, a Cole. Now, Frame looking back at the referee, potentially expecting a foul. And instead they get a throw in adjacent to the 18-yard box. And just quickly, that Heidelberg United Ballarat City game is at half-time, and the Burgers lead 3-0. As we reach the hour mark here at George Andrews. Up goes a Cole. Header only as far as Yarabatu, who's looking for the run there of Matthew Fletcher. Out by Vissers. Hasn't had the best of nights, Matthew Fletcher. Only 5 starts in the league this season, subbed on 3 times, including last week. I shouldn't say last week, I beg your pardon, on the weekend in their 4-0 victory over the Eastern Lions. It's now been over 460 minutes since Green Gully last conceded a goal. That was Xander Guy for St Albans on match day 9 in the 1-1 draw. Green Gully, who at one point this season struggling to score, scored again here. It was a bit of a cheap one, a bit of a gift for Josh Hope, but they'll take it. That's what cup football is all about. Kamara on the edge of the area. Oh, Jego, just a little slip. Found it back to Kamara, though, who's wriggled clear and then into the area, and Vizzers again in the way, as he has been through most of the first hour and a bit here tonight. Frank Vizzers. Another update around the grounds. Oakley have found a goal. And they lead Hume City 1-0 as they approach the hour mark at that particular game. Oakley, who I mentioned earlier on, are flying in the league. Oh, Lampard, a lovely touch, and Jego is in. He just let it run. Great build-up, but a disappointing end. A lovely skill on the edge of the area from Jordan Lampard. Elmazovsky. Oh, Frame waiting for it, but great anticipation by Digadoy. Hope, the goal scorer. Lampard into the area. Oh, a glancing header from Matty Fletcher. And Kamara's able to, or not quite able to track that one down and keep it from going out for a goal kick. Green Gully, this is their 26th Australia Cup match. They've got a pretty good record, 18 wins and 7 losses. Looking good here as well at George Andrews Reserve as we're into the final third of this match, and they'll come forward again through Jego. Here's Mamadi Kamara, adjacent to the 18-yard box. That's good defending by Gamadi. A throw in for the Gully. And they've scored 14 goals this season, Doveton. 6 of those 14 have come in the second half. They need 1 to buy themselves an extra half an hour. And 2, obviously, to win. Hope. Still going. Now Kamara. Tight angle. Parried away there by Jones, and it's Bernarda who slams it home. And the Argentine, who returns to George Andrews Reserve, scores in his new colours. And you'd have to say he scores and sends Green Gully into the 7th round for the first time in 5 years. It was a great initial save from Kobe Jones, but parried it right into the path of the Argentine, who was bearing down on goal. It did not have time, unfortunately, Kobe to recover. And now Bernarda comes on off the bench to score again for Green Gully. It's Doveton 0, Green Gully 2. They've really scored both their goals in strange circumstances. The first from a poor back pass And the second from a bit of a lucky, fortuitous goalkeeper parry straight into the path of Bernarda, as we're going to see another change here for the Gully. Young James Doyle makes way for the veteran, the former South Melbourne man, Luke Adams. Adams, who celebrated a birthday during the week. 28th birthday for the former South Melbourne man. Has scored this season as well for the Gully against the Melbourne Knights. Oh, that's another poor back pass. Jones this time alert. It's not a bad ball forward as well, though. It's just run away from Miskellin. Coming back here for a foul. No, the linesman saying it is a throw-in. Oh no, I thought he signalled for a throw-in. It is going to be a free kick taken by Frank Vissers. Oh, now Abatu's straight to Miskellin, who's hit the crossbar. Inches away from being right back in this contest, Doveton. They will have a corner kick. Time seemed to just stand still for a moment there as Damien Miskellin thought, okay, I'll have a go. Left-footed in-swinger over the head of a Cole. It's a really good clearance there by the Gully. Matthew Fletcher it was. Digodoy tidies up the second ball in. Kamara. Long ball looking for Hope. Backwards they come to Kobe Jones, Doveton. Well, that last shot from Damien Miskellin had David Thompson beaten all ends up. He'd left that one in the lap of the football gods. And only the crossbar saved Green Gully from their deficit, or their lead, I should say, being halved. Now Bernarda, keeping Frank Vissers honest, running around and around Vissers, and now gives it back to Colby Jones and says, here, you have it. Abatu not judged to have fouled Miskellin there. McCormick. Now Almazovsky, who has been pretty good tonight for the Doves. Mags. And now just running out of room is Liam McCormick. A throw in going the Gully's way. So that'll be Niall Bernarda's 6th goal of the season. Did score in their round 4 win over Nunawading City. Scored on the weekend as well in that 4-0 victory over the Eastern Lions. Oh, Lampard. Oh, a loose touch from the fullback, but managed to get it under control and get it to Bernarda. Jego slipped over and then popped back up quickly. Trying to thread a ball through there. Originally, I think, for Fletcher. And Kobe Jones skies that one into the Hilux that some of the fans have rocked up in. Good to see there's a few people that have come to enjoy some cup football on a Tuesday night out in the Ranges. I'm sure you're enjoying it at home as well on NPL.tv and watching on the Football Victoria Facebook page as the ball through from Hope is far too heavy. Another Around the Grounds update. Stop listening now if you don't want to know what's going on tonight in the 6th round of Australia Cup action. Goals galore in the game between Essendon Royals and Avondale. Avondale lead that one 3-2. We're into injury time at the end of the 90 there. Oakley still leading Hume City 1-0. And Ballarat City have pulled 1 goal back against Heidelberg United, but the Burgers still lead 3-1 there as Hope wins it back in midfield for the Gully. He's dragged down. And the referee was going to allow the advantage before it became clear that there was no advantage at all, and Josh Frame, after having a fistful of Josh Hope's jumper, has given away a foul. And another set piece opportunity here for the Gully. Luke Jigger, who has been in everything since coming on. Looks like we're going to have some more substitutions at the next stoppage in play. Luke Jigger stands over this one for the Gully. Can they put it to bed? Jiggo back in by Adams. Tantalisingly hung on the edge of the area for a moment before Doveton sweep it away. Joe Marty. Mags trying to thread it back through. Oh, and a strong coming together there between Abatu and I think it was McCormick. And we've got Keegan Myatt warming up down here for the Doves. He's going to come into this contest in the final 20 minutes or so and look to try and turn the game on its head. At the moment, it's Green Gully cruising into the 7th round of the Cup. Two-nil lead goals to Josh Hope and Noel Bernarda. Lampard, oh, lovely back heel from Fletcher. Kamara not able to take up possession on the edge of the area. Oh, and then a foul by Yared Abatu, and we may get the substitution now. Referee just looking at the sideline, and we will. And so it's going to be Keegan Myatt coming on for Doveton, as well as Sajjad Mohammadi. Making way will be Dow Akol. And Rini Maruki as well, so a double change there for Doveton, just trying to change things up out on the park, hoping for a frantic final 15 or so minutes here at George Andrews to try and save their cup campaign. As mentioned earlier, it's their first time making it to the 6th round in the Australia Cup. Fletcher's held that up well. Coming forward is Bernarda. He's lost out there and turned over possession. We've got Gianluca Iannucci, who's also going to come on for Green Gully. Iannucci, who had started the previous 2 cup fixtures for the Gully. Tonight, he will come on to replace Jordan Lampard, who has been sensational tonight for the Gully. One of the great fullbacks in the NPL Victoria, Queenslander. And on comes Iannucci, who was another one who scored in that 6-0 thumping of Nunawading City in round 4. Haven't seen him too much in the league this year, Iannucci. 6 starts, including last week. It was a much more regular fixture last season, Gianluca Iannucci. 14 starts from the 18 games. What does the final few minutes have in store here at George Andrews Reserve? Green Gully, who will back up again on Friday nights. They will play the Dandenong Thunder next up, as Matthew Fletcher's adjudged to have been offside. And as you may well imagine, Stephen Downs and the Green Gully bench not real happy with that call. McCormick trying to loft one over the top there for Mags, who has not strayed offside. Digadoy has done well, Digadoy. He's done excellent, in fact, to just worry Mags out of that one. Jiggo, Iannucci, and Jiggo. It's lovely link-up play. Oh, Fletcher trying to honour the run of Jiggo, but couldn't get past the noggin of Mohammadi. KO Digadoy gets his big frame in the way again. Here's Elmazovsky. Oh, just trying to find McCormick, who's done well to get one into the area. Thompson out off his line, fisting that one away. Jago linking up with Bernarda, who's going down the right-hand touchline. He's held up there by Gamati. Oh, Jamati's tried to nip it and gone to ground. Bernarda, Hope, who has gone to ground on the edge of the area. We've seen a couple of the Green Gully boys slip over in this second half. Bernarda again. Now, Digadoy. Kamara trying to thread one through for his Brazilian mates who had made the run. Oh, swing and a miss by Marmody. Marmody Kamara getting some real praise from the coaches in the dugout for the Gully. And just on this weekend's clash, Green Gully with Dandenong Thunder, it is the official halfway mark of the season for the top division. Match day 13, everybody will have played everybody. And around the twist we go again. If it stays 2-0 here, and the Gully win as expected, they'll go into Friday night looking to make it 9 games unbeaten in all competitions. Iannucci on the edge of the area. Digs a shot out of there, but spurns it wide. Doveton are on the road. On Saturday afternoon they play Geelong Soccer Club. They're looking to really try and get their season going. Currently in 8th position, NPL 3. Of course, they were looking really good to be promoted last season. They were equal top, second on goal difference at the time of COVID forcing all football in Victoria to be cancelled. Not having a great time of it this year though, Doveton, although they bow out of the cup tonight potentially and they have just the league to focus on. In a way, it could be a bit of a blessing. Long ball forward there by Vissers is not going to work. The 55th season this season, Doveton. They were in great form when the league, or football I should say, was cancelled last year. Second on the table, only on goal difference behind Preston. But they had won 6 of their last 7 games before football in Victoria was canned. Here's Adams. Oh, Bernarda. Now he's got some space to manoeuvre. He's lost out, but Hope's onto it. Graham trying to whip one in. Off the body there of Vissers. Mags. Just trying to get it out of there, but only as far as Adams. And Hope again, driving towards the area and into the area. And eventually getting a boot in, Frank Vissers. He's gone down, clutching his ankle. Green Gully play on. Graham. Now he's been caught. Mitch Graham. Vissers is back up on his feet. Eventually it's gone out for a corner kick. It's going to be Luke Jego now, with Nick Georgopoulos having been brought from the ground to take over the set-piece duties. This is going to be taken short, I dare say. No, he's put it into the dangerous area. Headed away by Miss Girl and Bernarda! Oh, boy. Hit on the volley from outside of the area. Well, that would have been quite a way to wrap this one up once and for all. And as I was mentioning earlier tonight, what a player to be able to bring on in the second half. No doubt much of what Green Gully achieved this season from here on in is going to hinge on the Argentine Nal Bernarda. Born in Cordoba in Argentina, the same city as a certain young gentleman by the name of Paulo Dybala. Creeping towards the final 10 minutes here at George Andrews Reserve. Long ball forward is brought down well there by Almazovsky, but terrific from Mamadi Kamara, who had a couple of flashes of brilliance in the first half, but he's been, to be fair, much better in the second. Quite a debate going on about which way this throw-in's going. It's going the Doves' way. Brandon Almazovsky. Frame headed back to Almazovsky, who now just slams one into the area. And Graham just shielding Keegan Myatt out of that one. David Thompson not in really any hurry at all to get that one back into the field of play. Eventually he just drops it at the feet of Adams. Adams gaining some territory for the Gully. Fires one at the feet of Bernarda. He controlled it well. Nahul Bernarda. Hope. Fletcher trying to get it on to Jego, who was not fouled. Great recovery there. And now Iannucci on the edge of the area. Can he get a shot away? He can. It's high and wide. They're going to make one more change here, Doveton. They're going to bring on Alexander Whites. One last roll of the dice for the Doves, and off comes one of their better performers on the night, Liam McCormick. So Alexander White, who was subbed in late on the weekend as well, only started 3 times in the league this season. And with his side trailing 2-0 in the final 10 minutes, maybe it's he who can save their campaign, but it's going to take something special now here for Doveton as Catherine turns and tries to play in Mags. Oh, and now a loose ball. Myatt able to keep it in. Oh, and now couldn't quite get it back to Frame. The offside flag's gone up regardless. You just can't help but wonder and think back to that opportunity that fell to the captain, Josh Frame. Only minutes after Josh Hope opened the scoring here at George Andrews Reserve. We say that goals change games. Josh Frame scores that one and gets the Doves back level, and who knows where this game goes from there. And credit to the keeper, David Thompson. It was a shot fired straight at him, but still had to be kept out, and it was. And most importantly, it wasn't parried into danger, unlike the save that led to the second Nal Bernarda goal. But Kobe Jones saved the initial shot and straight into the path of the Argentine. Speaking of, he's having a long-range go again. Comfortable enough for Jones. Habatu looking to retreat. Frame just in the frame, making it awkward. Adams has let it run to the keeper. Thompson, who now plays in the Kiwi. And now Fletcher just on the back shoulder of Vissers, who's fallen over. Goalkeeper off his line. Great touch from Fletcher. Can he play in Kamara? He can. And Kamara, well, it's all academic now. Mamadi Kamara, who's been terrific in this second half, makes it a third for the Gully. And they're on their way to the 7th round. Mentioning earlier a couple of the Gully players slipping over. In that particular build-up, it was Vissers who's been one of their better players as well, but just lost his footing. Great play from Matthew Fletcher to get beyond him, get beyond the goalkeeper as well, and that's the easiest goal Mamadi Kamara will score all season. Doveton 0, Green Gully 3 into the final 5 minutes. And Green Gully are cruising. They've had a pretty good record here at George Andrews in recent times. Won their last 3 here. Of course, when they come here, they generally play Dandenong Thunder. There's going to be 4 wins in a row here at this ground. Haven't lost here since match day 2, 2014. Lovely touch by Kamara. And he's not going to get his wish here and win the throw in. And quickly around the grounds. That Essendon Royals Avondale game is over. Avondale, reigning Doherty Cup champions, of course, are through to the next round. They've defeated Essendon 4-2. Oakley still lead Hume City 1-0 into the final 10 minutes there. Heidelberg United still with a 3-1 lead over Ballarat City into the final 20 minutes. A couple of games we remind you as well to come tomorrow night. Banyule City hosting Goulburn Valley Suns. And Brimbank Stallions against Moreland City 2. All of the games, of course, streamed live and free on NPL.tv and on the Football Victoria Facebook page as Iannucci's made a run into the area. And that's come off Frank Visser's last. And out for a corner kick. Luke Jego standing over this one. Again, he's going to put it into the area. He's kept it flat. Away there by Mohammadi. And helped on, but only as far as Graham. Bernardo just letting that one get away from him. White. Turned it over. Iannucci with the cutback. Oh, Giamatti doing the splits there. And then just a long, hopeful ball. My Miskelin, Abatu's got it covered. So Mamadi Kamara, the hat-trick hero in the previous cup contest over Fitzroy City. 3-0 win for the Gully. And on the scoring sheet again tonight. Throw in here. Myatt out by Digadoy. Rather, that was Mags, excuse me. And another ball back into the area. Lurking at the back post was Samuel Catherine. But again, straight at the goalkeeper. And Samuel Catherine, the leading goal scorer in the NPL 3, just not quite his night tonight, unfortunately. Almazovsky's onto the loose ball. Catherine. Forced back to Miskelin. Down comes Giamatti. Managed to get a ball into the area. Can Catherine get a turn and a shot away? Well, again, he can, but straight at David Thompson, who's pretty keen to go in search of a 4th goal for his side. Thompson. Kamara, loses out, and now Elmazovsky. They do have plenty of numbers back here, the Gully. Frame. And that's a pretty disappointing ball in the end from Sam Maggs. It was a cross, no doubt, gone wrong. And just a frustrating end to a night where Doveton acquitted themselves quite well, to be fair, against a team 29 positions above them in the Victorian football pyramid. Just on the cup action, we've got some more contests to come next week as well when the 6th round continues. Just hold that thought as Iannucci has played in Kamara, who is onside. He goes around the goalkeeper, and it's easy pickings for Mamadi Kamara. And the man who scored a hat-trick in round 5 has a brace in round 6. And this is going to be a really nice-looking 4-0 win for the Gully tonight. And for Mamadi Kamara, that is now 5 goals in 2 games in the Cup. The man who only scored 1 goal in 18 appearances last season. He's in fine goal-scoring form at present for the Gully, as we'll redo that kick-off again. Not sure they really care too much about that, Doveton. I think they just want this time to elapse, and they'll go home and look forward to a trip to Geelong on Saturday afternoon. Their run will end in the 6th round. Green Gully, one-time quarter-finalists, will be potentially 90 minutes away now from another round of 32 appearance. And they may be looking for number 5. Hope picks it up on the edge of the area. Will he go himself, Hope? Well, he tried to play in Kamara, who's looking for another hat-trick. Back it comes to Hope. Jego. Kamara adjacent to the area. Just toying with them now, the Gully. Kamara finds Iannucci. No space to get a shot away there for Iannucci. Backwards he comes for Jego. Digadoy and still Jego, and now Adams. Adams is going to pick out Fletcher on the edge of the area. Good first touch. Bernarda looking to combine with Matty Fletcher, but couldn't link up with him. And the referee blows his final whistle, and that'll do it for a Tuesday night here at George Andrews Reserve. Really tightly contested first 45. But Green Gully really picked up the pace in the second half. A 4-goal second half is enough to see Green Gully through to the 7th round. They'll go into the draw. And potentially Green Gully 90 minutes away from the national stages of the Australia Cup again. It was Josh Hope that got things going for Green Gully early on in the second half. Substitute Noel Bernarda came on and slammed home the second. And it was all smooth sailing there for the Gully. A brace for Mamadi Kamara in the closing quarter of an hour. Put the icing on a pretty nice cake for the Gully. And they'll go back to Green Gully Reserve and look forward to a Friday night showdown in the league with Dandenong Thunder. And they're then at home the week after to Oakley, then on the road to Altona, and then home to Port Melbourne, while Doveton, as we mentioned, they're on the road to Geelong Soccer Club, and then home against Nunawading City, and then at the Whittlesea Rangers, and then home against Melbourne Victory. So a tough month to come for Doveton. They are out of the Cup. Their run comes to an end in the 6th round for season 2022. And their focus now turns to the league and trying to stay in the NPL 3rd Division. Brent Sternberg is my name. Thank you for your company tonight on a cool night at George Andrews Reserve, a neutral ground for this round 6 matchup between Doveton and Green Gully. Stay tuned for tomorrow night. We've got some more games coming your way in the Cup, and then we've got a few midweek as well. And of course, you can watch all of the NPL League matches on npl.tv. That's where we'll wrap things up tonight, folks. The final score here at George Andrews Reserve. Green Gully win, and they head through to the 7th round for the first time in 5 years. That final score, Doveton 0, Green Gully 4.